Okay, we're going to continue on today. I want to talk a little bit about the calendar. We got the fall equinox coming up. It's on the 23rd, this coming Saturday of September. Now, it's a good time to plant your fall gardens, your mustards, your above ground crops. You started on the 15th of this month when the moon's on the increase, getting larger. You plant the above ground crops. And the best time to plant will be the signs in the feet. Pisces is the richest, best time, most fruitful time to plant. That would be on the 28th. And then full moon is on the 29th. And this is called harvest full moon. So it's the 29th of September. It's the a full moon for harvesting your crops, because this is the time of year to get your crops out of the field. The fall time fellowship. Another good time, well, you can plant any time this week and next week, but the best time to plant is on the 28th. And then all your root crops, your radish, your onions, your carrots, turnips, you start planting them the 1st of October, and you can go through till the 13th. But the heart, so the best time to plant will be the first week in October. Your above or your root crops, and the heart and the bowels are barren signs, so it's not a good time between the 8th and the 14th. It's not a good time to plant. So here in North Florida, it's a good time to plant your fall gardens. Okay, now we're going to continue on in our Father's Word. This is Exodus 36, verse 35. And he made a veil of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen. And it was worked with an artistic design of cherubim. And he made it into 4 pillars of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold, with their hooks of gold. And he cast 4 sockets of silver for them. He also made a screen for the tabernacle door of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen, made by a weaver, and its 5 pillars with their hooks. And he overlaid their capitals and their rings with gold, but their 5 sockets were bronze. Now this is Exodus 37. Then Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and made a molding of gold all around it. And he cast it for its 4 rings of gold, to be set in its 4 corners, 2 rings on one side, 2 rings on the other side of it. And he made poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold. And he put the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark, to bear the ark. He also made the mercy seat of pure gold. Now remember, Satan was created by God to be a protecting cherubim, to protect the mercy seat. But Satan wants to take God's place and sit on the mercy seat, God's spot. He also made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. He made 2 cherubim of beaten gold. He made them of one piece at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. 1 cherubim at one end of this side, and the other cherubim at the other end on that side. And he made the cherubim at the 2 ends of one piece with the mercy seat. The cherubim spread out their wings above and cover the mercy seat with their wings. They faced one another. The faces of the cherubim were toward the mercy seat. And he made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was its length, a cubit was its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made a molding of gold all around it. Also he made a frame of a hand breadth all around it, and made a molding of gold for the frame all around it. And he cast it for its 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that were at its 4 legs. The rings were close to the frame as holders for the poles to bear the table. And he made the poles of acacia wood to bear the table, and overlaid them with gold. And he made of pure gold the utensils which were on the table, its dishes, its cups, its bowls, and its pitchers for pouring. He also made the lampstand of pure gold. Of hammered work he made the lampstand, its shaft, its branches, its bowls, its ornamental knobs, and its flowers were of the same piece. And 6 branches came out of its side, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side. There were 3 bowls made like almond blossoms, one on each branch, with an ornamental knob with a flower, and 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on the other branch, with an ornamental knob and a flower, and so for the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand. And on the lampstand itself were 4 bowls made like almond blossoms, each with its ornamental knob and flower. There was a knob under the first 2 branches of the same, a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches extended from it. Their knobs and their branches were of one piece. All of it was hammered piece of pure gold. One hammered piece of pure gold. And he made it 7 lamps, its wick trimmers, and its trays of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold he made it, with all its utensils. And he made the incense altar of acacia wood. Its length was 1 cubit, its width 1 cubit, it was square, and 2 cubits was its height. Its horns were of one piece with it. And he overlaid it with pure gold, its top, its sides, all around, and its horns. And he made for it a mounting of gold all around it. And he made the 2 rings of gold for it under its molding, by its 2 corners on both sides, as holders for the poles with which to bear it. And he made the poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold. And he also made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the perfumer. Now this is Exodus 38. He made the altar of burnt offerings of acacia wood. 5 cubits was its length, 5 cubits its width, it was square, and its height was 3 cubits. He made its horns on its 4 corners. The horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. And he made all the utensils for the altar, the pans, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans, all its utensils he made of bronze. And he made a grate of bronze network for the altar under its rim, midway from the bottom. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of the bronze grating as holders for the poles. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. Then he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar.